Welcome to the Cincy Postcast. I'm Kevin Wallace, and before we get started with today's episode, I want to tell you about our friends over at Streetside Brewery. That is right, located in the Columbia Tusculum East End neighborhood. You will not find a better brewery. I am telling you, they are brewing and serving delicious beers. They have incredible food there with various food trucks out front. It is a great time, friendly atmosphere, and again, amazing beers. It is really, really good stuff. They are an FC Cincinnati pub partner, so you can always check them out for away games, as well as just a great spot to watch the Reds, watch Bengals. It's always a good time. I love checking out my friends over at Streetside, and you should too. Stop in there. Tell them thanks for sponsoring the podcast and show them some love, okay? So a huge thank you to Streetside for sponsoring this episode, and thank you, listener, for swinging by Streetside. And on today's episode, well, we talk a little soccer in this one, okay? Part one, we talk a little FC Cincinnati. It gets a little off the rails at times, but we have a good time. We're talking FC Cincinnati, a couple of injury updates, some news, some player news out there. Center back news is out there. And then in part two, we have a little bit of a recap of the Cincinnati Bucket List Challenge. This was so fun. Hear what Chief and I had to say about the challenge, and then join the conversation in the Discord. It's free, by the way, to join the Discord. You should do that. There's a link in the description of the episode. We wrap it all up in part three with a preview of the LA Galaxy late on Saturday. Put it all together. You got yourselves a very Cincinnati episode of the Postcast. Joining me to talk about all of that and more, I'm joined by two gentlemen, one of which attempted to check things off the old bucket list. I'm joined by the Chief. I'm joined by Grayson. Chief, how do we make Evan a permanent co-host of the podcast?
Sounds like we're going to have to outbid some other teams for his salary. We're going to have to do better than a supplemental roster spot, but I suspect Cincinnati's going to have to do better than a supplemental roster spot, given the way he's played recently.
Yeah, I don't know how often the goalkeeper and the backup goalkeeper are on the senior roster spots. Maybe that's common. I have not looked that closely at it.
I think it's not uncommon.
Okay.
Wasn't uncommon on this team. Like Alacan and Roman are both on.
That's a good point. Yeah. Okay. Well, what do I know?
Charlotte's got Kalina and Drake Callender.
Yeah, Drake Callender.
Man.
Yeah, happens a lot here.
This is some World's Gam content, but my God, the moment they signed Callender, Kalina was like, oh, right, I'm supposed to be one of the best goalkeepers in the league, and they haven't lost a game.
I mean, mission failed successfully.
Fair enough. Yes. It worked out for him. So there you go. Tune into the World's Gam if you want the league-wide take. There is not a ton of FC Cincinnati news. I'm going to dive into the FCC stuff now. And by dive in, I mean, I guess hit my head on the shallow end. Because otherwise this podcast will have nothing. This episode will have nothing soccer related. Grayson, you noticed this one. There's a rumor out there that Teenage Hadebi may be looking at a move to Europe in the winter, which would make sense and add up with everything that we have seen. I don't know what to make of this, because it hinted at a transfer fee, which would not be necessary as far as I understand.
Yeah, so there was a rumor that Teenage Hadebi is going to join, I think it was Rizaspor, like Neosporian or something, like something spore in Turkey.
Turkey, yes.
I mean, he is a fun guy, so
that wouldn't surprise me, because he was in Turkey before he came here. And he did like pretty well there, by all accounts. I agree with Kevin. Like the quirky part of it was that there was a transfer fee.
Which
attached to the rumor.
Don't we have an option on him?
We do have an option on him.
Oh, Grayson, would you please rant about we have an option, but that's actually illegal in the Court of Arbitration for Sport idea?
Has somebody brought that up in this context?
No, but this feels like a good time to bring it up.
Okay.
This would be an example of this.
Yeah. So there is a contingent of, I guess, like soccer knower in the US that for years has said confidently that that options in MLS are not recognized in the international community, and that they're actually illegal, by the way, under FIFA rules.
Right.
And so every time we say like, oh, we have an option on Hadebe, we have an option on Kubo, we have an option on Miazga, in this school of thought, that's all nothing.
Right.
Okay. Where if we exercise that in that view, the player could still go somewhere abroad, regardless, on a free.
That the player is treated as a free agent internationally. Yes.
And it comes from, I think, nowhere, but to the extent that it comes from somewhere, it comes from a dispute that New York Red Bulls had with a player named Kaku, who I believe was Paraguayan.
Was he in Orlando for a while too? Or was that Kaká?
I think that was Kaká.
Okay.
He was Brazilian.
Kaká.
Yeah.
So Kaku, the Red Bulls guy.
Tamane.
Kaku, if you want like a memorable moment, I'm 90% sure he is the player who rocketed the ball into the stands when a call didn't go his way and like seriously injured a fan.
Maybe. Yeah.
So yeah. Anyway,
sounds like something he'd do.
Yes.
So he challenged the option that Red Bulls exercised on him. And he had like a very like specific kind of theory. And it was that because he's Paraguayan or Brazilian or whatever, they didn't exercise the option by delivering it to his right representative in his home language or whatever. So he wasn't appropriately informed of the exercise of the option before he went out and found another deal. And what happened was he went out and wasn't able to play. Like he signed for a team in the Middle East.
Yeah.
But he wasn't able to play there until like that dispute was done. And Red Bulls won the dispute.
Right. That's the part everybody forgets, just because he played for the other team.
And then the other big option dispute that happened, and again, like the Kaku dispute wasn't like the option was illegal. It was the option wasn't appropriately delivered to me in my native language to the right representative in a way I could understand it. Right. It was like very specific, and he still lost. And the other option dispute that I'm aware of is Kyle Larin in Orlando.
Yeah.
Where Kyle Larin, a Canadian forward, played for Orlando City, and he wanted the new deal. Orlando City was like, well, we're just going to exercise your option. And he went and he signed for, I want to say Besiktas.
It was Besiktas. Yep.
And he challenged the option under FIFA rules, and there was no ruling that was reached on that. Orlando and Besiktas just reached an agreement.
Yeah.
Where Besiktas ended up paying Orlando like $2.5 million.
So they got a transfer fee, right? Even though the option allegedly is non-binding or whatever.
So this entire idea that MLS options like violate FIFA rules and they're illegal or whatever, it's I would say like
Fake
underbaked, untested,
conspiracy theory.
unconfirmed.
Should we go that far?
It's unconfirmed, I would say.
Okay. How many Pinocchios do we give it?
Right. Much like the Army offense, the death of the option massively overreported.
Hey. So there you go. So in theory, we could exercise the option and then try to extract some nominal transfer fee. Feels not like how FC Cincinnati usually does by their players. And it's quite the gamble if then nobody pays up for a player that was going to be free.
It would also make sense, though, that like if they were going to work a transfer out, you would work the transfer out well in advance of exercising the option. And also you say, doesn't, do this by their players. Well, I can think of 3 million reasons why you would want to find some sort of a transfer that hits the books for the fiscal year 2026. Because as of right now, unless you believe that this is the year Alvaro Barreal actually gets transferred, which, you know what, I'm not going to, unlike Charlie Brown, I'm not going to try to keep kicking the football on this. You do need to find some sort of a transfer, or you got to be prepared to cut about $3 million worth of salary next year because you won't have that transfer conversion without something. So I know that like everyone was like, oh, I don't know about this. To me, this would be very sensical in terms of we need to find a solution that fixes the budget next year a little.
I would be a little surprised if a team was legitimately willing to bid $2.5 million for Teenage Davy. But yeah, I mean, like I agree that if we found, I guess what I'm saying is like I would agree that we have the ability to negotiate for a transfer fee because we have the option. I don't think the team would be real sticklers for a particular number. But on the other hand, if there was multiple bidders for him, like the second there's a second bidder for the player, go ahead, go nuts, right?
Alternative theory, a $60,000 transfer fee for Teenage Davy, which is roughly 2.5 million Turkish lira. So maybe,
that also sounds
it was
about
a currency.
That also sounds about right.
I don't think Teenage Davy was in the 2026 plans.
Do you think that Teenage Davy is removing himself from the plans because he saw Miles Robinson's DP deal and said, well, 2 DP center backs is just too much for one roster?
Surely.
I think somebody had that thought, but maybe not had Davy.
Surely, though, you look at a team willing to give a DP contract to a center back and think, I need to stay here so I can earn that, right? Come on. That's a carrot, baby. That's not money gone.
They're just making it rain on the back line here.
Right,
come on.
They clearly value the position.
It's like Albright's heading back towards the 18-yard box with one of those guns, just shooting money off in the air. Let's do this.
Like, if you're a running back and the starter is getting paid $100 million, you don't leave because there's no money for running backs.
Or maybe you do leave because you're like, there ain't no way, no how they're paying a second guy even a dime to play this position.
You got to prove you could do the $100 million man's job.
It's like,
you get $100 million.
It's like, I hate to break it to you, but if you notice, if you're a car salesman and you notice the house down the road just bought a Lamborghini, you don't go down to sell them another one. It's like they already got their car, man. Like, I'm going to go find the house with an empty driveway.
Fair enough. You got to find the house that has to have 11 cars.
The SUV Lamborghini, by the way. So
of course, we learned.
as many people have noted,
as speed demonstrated for us. Is there anything else? I mean, there's a couple of injury updates that we'll cover in the preview, but I think the big one that we don't even need that, because I think it's bigger than the preview is Matt Miazga. Like, that is one where
I don't think we've had an update on like what the situation is with him yet, have we?
I assume we'll get one tomorrow morning as this is released.
Right, for coach's availability.
Yeah.
He's not playing this weekend.
Oh, he's definitely not playing this weekend. I'm just saying though that like that would be that would be a problem.
Actually, let's talk about this a little bit.
Okay.
Because so let's assume that Miazga's injury is serious.
Okay.
And
I don't like that.
And he misses the playoff. Like he's out for the year.
Okay.
Which, to be clear, none of us have any
inside
word on.
We're
just
playing with a hypothetical here.
Yeah.
Yep.
But I think it's a useful hypothetical.
Okay.
Because we have a center back, Miles Robinson. I don't know if anybody listening is familiar with him. And we signed him to a designated player contract.
Oh,
which
right.
again,
Wow.
if anybody's listening is not familiar with that concept, a designated player is
NYCFC just scored to tie this game up. That's very exciting to me.
Oh shit! You're ahead of me.
Nice. Well, you have this to look forward to now.
A designated player is a player who can be paid as much money as you want.
Yep.
And they only count like a certain amount against the salary budget, which again, if people aren't familiar with rules, salary budget is like kind of like a salary cap if you know about like the NFL or NBA or something.
So if you don't know what the NBA is, hang on.
Oh yeah, that's the National Basketball Association. You might be familiar with like a player like Trae Young or Patrick Beverly.
Definitely the two players
kind
I
of
would
the
have pulled out.
main
Yeah.
NBA players. Right. I just saw the NYCFC call.
John Morant. If you're into firearms.
Brian Scalabrine. So we already have a player who plays center back, which again, if people don't know, is the same position as Matt Miazga, who has been signed.
Right.
Yep. And who has been signed.
Center backs usually play at the back of the team, which doesn't really make sense.
Often in the center.
Well,
yeah, towards the
depending
middle.
on
in the center of the back.
Right. Unless you're a left center
kind of
back,
like
in which you
what's
play
that,
in
the
the
sits
left.
bones. If you're a yogi.
Hey, boo boo.
What seat is that in rowing? I got to make sure I've got this.
Like a libero if you're a volleyball player.
Okay, now it makes sense. Continue.
So Matt Miazga is probably not going to be given a designated player contract on FC Cincinnati because Miles Robinson already got one. And people have complained about Miles Robinson's availability because he's away with the national team sometimes. And he's played like 20 more games the last 2 years than Matt Miazga has for the FC.
Especially comparing the two, Miles is more available more often over the time that they've been here. Yeah.
And Miazga's availability the last 2 years has been pretty much based on injury and not based on, although he did miss some time, I think, for the Gold Cup last year.
Yes.
But it's been mostly based on injury and not based on
international duty. Yeah.
Like international duty. Yeah. Maybe it was 23 with the Gold Cup. I don't know what year it is now.
It was 2024 Gold Cup Olympics double whammy.
It was Miles Robinson.
Copa America Olympics. Gold Cup was 20. Gold Cup was 23.
Copa was 23.
Right. Yeah. Sorry.
Okay. So none of this.
The Gold Cup is a CONCACAF championship that is played among the CONCACAF nations. That you might be familiar with the Euros, which are played every 4 years. The Gold Cup inexplicably is played every 2 years. Grayson, continue.
Also, CONCACAF is the Confederation of North America and Central America and the Caribbean.
In the Caribbean.
Okay.
The Caribbean is a bunch of islands that are just south of...
A confederation is kind of a loose association of otherwise sovereign states.
And the Caribbean, of course, named after the Carib peoples who inhabited most of the islands.
North America being Canada, the United States, and the United States of Mexico.
You may be familiar with the Caribbean from the movie Pirates of the Caribbean. So,
and the Caribbean and the Caribbean, same thing, kind of.
Ooh, controversial. Is Mexico in North America or Central America?
North America.
Central America.
Oh, baby. If that doesn't explain America right there, I don't know what does.
We suck at geography.
So
I remember, hold on. I had a Spanish teacher once that used to get really, really mad in high school because we would refer to ourselves as American. And in Spanish, it's Norteamericano.
Yeah.
And she would say it's because it's offensive to other people who are also from America, to which we responded, no, they're not.
So like if Matt Miazga is out for the playoffs this year, Matt being short for Matthew, Miazga being his full last name.
Yeah. The playoffs, of course, referring to the Audi MLS Cup playoffs presented by Audi as discussed by the postcast.
Yes.
A thing that happens after the Major League Soccer regular season
presented
and determines who plays. Presented by Continental Tire. It determines who plays in the Audi Major League Soccer Cup competition as presented by Continental Tire, as talked about by the postcast.
Yes.
Sponsored by Streetside Brewery.
Yep. It will have been 3 years in a row that Matt Miazga has become not available for the playoffs.
I'm glad we explained that to everyone so thoroughly.
Yeah, that seems suboptimal.
Yeah, it raises it's not fully fair, right? Because only one of those was like a product of like his agency.
Sure.
But if you're not available for the playoffs, it does raise the question of whether it does raise the question of how valuable you are to the team. And what contract is fair to offer you, right?
I guess, but also it's like if you're not available for the playoffs and the team isn't any good without you, then what it points to is that the skill set you offer is valuable. That it just becomes incumbent upon team leadership to find someone with that skill set that is, what do they say? The number one ability
is sometimes.
Yeah, the number one ability is availability. So like maybe finding someone whose abilities include that most important ability.
Yeah. I would also say
Miazga's getting older. Like this happens more often. Like as you get older.
His play this season, when he's available, has not screamed to me, sign him at any cost. We need him back here desperately. Oh my God, this team is nothing without him. I think there have been multiple times where even just a faster center back in his spot would have prevented a goal or had not made a mess of things.
I don't see. The problem is that intuitively in watching the games, yes, I agree with you that like you watch the game and it's like, okay, here are some examples where the foot speed is not where it once was, or, the quickness isn't where it once was. That happens, every so often. When he's not in the game, the organization is not there anytime. So it's like, on one hand, I agree with the idea that Matt has either lost a step or the recovery from the type of injury that he sustained, it's not complete, or it takes longer to complete when you are on the other side of 30. I mean, you see that all the time in sports, is that the 25-year-old bounces back from the ACL surgery within 9 to 10 months. The person who's a little older, maybe that's more like 12 to 18 months before you're fully back and recovered to where you once were. Sign him at any cost? No, I don't know that that's true, because I don't think any center back should be signed at whatever cost. But I take issue with the idea that he's, or I'll put it this way, what he brings to the team, absolutely no one else on the roster has. So like for all of Miles Robinson's physical gifts, and for his quickness and for his technical ability on the field. It's just really hard to ignore the entire back line looks worse when he is the man back there versus Matt Miazga. And now part of that is probably a product of he doesn't have Matt Miazga with him, whereas Matt Miazga usually has Miles Robinson with him. But even in games where Miles was missing, when it was just Matt, the back line just looks better with Matt being in control of things. And I think that skill set, this team's going to miss the hell out of that, regardless of how many steps Matt has lost over the course of the last calendar year.
Well, what do you think is more likely? That they'll be able to find a player at like a max TAM or TAM salary who can help organize the defense and be available in the playoffs, or Matt will suddenly become available in the playoffs in 2026 and thereafter.
I do know this is that they're 0 for 2 for the last 2 times trying to find that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
Chidozie Awazim was not that guy. Teenage Adebia is not that guy. So 2 times in the last 12 months, they have gone out to market and looked for a guy who can be a replacement for Matt Miazga. And one of those guys they already shipped off and is now out of the league. And when he left here, I don't think anyone was clamoring that Chidozie Awazim was this incredible signing for Colorado. I didn't see that. And the other guy can't get off the bench. So it's like they've gone looking for that player twice. And in that salary slot right there, that max TAM salary slot, that's a tough thing to find.
Hang on. I gotta push.
I want to say one thing on that.
Okay.
I'm with you, right?
I'm not, which is what I was trying to say.
But the last 2 years, and probably this year, definitely this year, if Matt ends up being not available for the playoffs, teams have won MLS Cup relying on center backs who were not Matt Miazga.
In fact, every MLS team
famously,
has won.
Most of them.
Every MLS team in history has won MLS Cup without Matt Miazga.
Yep. And so if he's not going to be available for the playoffs,
we're also going to win MLS Cup without Matt Miazga then in that case.
Yeah.
Actually,
so then maybe we need to just go ahead and find another center back to rely on. Who's not Matt Miazga, and follow the formula that every other MLS team that has ever won MLS Cup has followed.
There's something to be said for that. Now, I will say, Teenage and Chidozie were not necessarily replacements for Matt Miazga, because you got to keep in mind that year as well, Nick Hagglund was out. Nick Hagglund was also out.
No, they were straight.
Cheeto, I think Awazim was explicitly.
Yeah, it was like he could not have been.
So
he could not have been more of a Matt Miazga.
You could not possibly have been more 1-to-1. In fact, it's not the first time that one of them has been the replacement for the other, because I don't remember who it was. I think it was Matt was signed by Nance to be Awazim's replacement. It was one or the other way. Like, it wasn't the first time this has happened to them.
Sure. But his skills were still valued in France. Chidozie's were, and he went back to France. But my point is that the salary that
I can name somebody whose skills were not valued in France.
Who was that?
So he came here.
Is that Matt Miazga?
It's Matt Miazga.
Okay. But we have not seen somebody signed to be the long-term at salary replacement for Matt Miazga. And Correct. That is ultimately the difference, which is, yes, the team looks worse without Matt. The team would also look pretty good with a max TAM center back that is not Matt Miazga playing alongside Miles Robinson. I feel very confident in that. But I also would throw this out there as a sort of pro Matt Miazga argument. I see this a lot on the internet. I in no way, shape, or form think Miles Robinson's DP contract means that Matt Miazga is less likely to come back to Cincinnati. And I get the feeling you guys would disagree with that, but I would just say Matt was also never going to be a designated player. So this doesn't change that. It would only change it if you were under the assumption that Matt was only going to come back as a DP and now that spot is gone. I don't believe that. Like, he can make the same salary or more, and it's the same hit as if you'd signed Miles Robinson to a max TAM contract as well. In fact, it takes up less GAM doing it this way.
I want to be clear.
Just comparing their salaries, not looking at the overall salary structure.
I want to be clear. I think that FC Cincinnati's best chance of winning MLS Cup is having Matt Miazga starting at center back.
I would agree with that right now.
And I think that they're unlikely to sign a better one-to-one player than Matt Miazga. Okay. But as it stands, it doesn't seem like the option is, going into the Eastern Conference Finals with Matt Miazga starting or a Matt Miazga replacement starting.
Well, it's not going to happen.
It feels like going into the Eastern Conference Finals with either Matt Miazga's backup starting or a Matt Miazga replacement starting.
I think Miazga will be fine.
You think so?
Yeah, I get the sense. Like, it didn't seem season ending-y. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if he's out a couple of weeks. But like, because what was the line from Noonan was that he felt something tug.
He felt tightness in his leg on a long
remember
kick.
he was already like missing days in training before.
Yeah, that's the little piece that was a little weird, but
hey, we'll see.
Yeah. Well, the good news is that the good news is that I mean, he can't get suspended if he's injured.
I was going to bring that up too, which is like, for all of the intangibles that we like about Matt, that did maybe cost us MLS Cup in 2023.
Sure, it cost us MLS Cup. The other thing too is that I like this team. I liked it. Hold on. I like this team. I like the players on this team. This team can be a little passive and a little soft from time to time. And
Matt is not that.
And Matt is not that. Like, if anything, I would like to see them keep Matt and go get another kind of guy like that. Someone that's a little combustible. Because, like, for the last couple of years,
Maxime Chanot has retired.
I don't know who that is. Like, I'm sure there's somebody over.
You know who that is. He's the NYCFC psycho.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, there's no, I don't know. No, I know who that is. I'm saying I don't know who that is that they can go get is what I meant. Yeah, no, I know who Maxime Chanot is. Yeah, no, I'm very well aware of that. No, I don't know who that is in terms of like who they can go get. But like, this team definitely, if there's a missing piece on this team, it's that they took an incredibly combustible, fiery, I'm going to dumb out because I'm angry kind of guy with Lucho Acosta. And Evander just ain't that. He's kind of laid back. He looks like he's unbothered by everything. I just need another guy out there that looks like he may commit a crime on the field when things aren't going the right way.
So the band back together. If we can get Brenner back, we can get Mosquera back.
Yeah. He might get kicked out of the Premier League based on what I've seen.
No. Think about this. The best this team ever was when they had 3 pricks on the field. They had Matt, they had Yerson, and they had Lucho. The next year, they only had 2. They had Lucho and they had Matt. Now we're down to 1. Like,
and they didn't have Matt for most of the season.
Right. I think they need a little more of that asshole energy. Like, I think this team needs another asshole. Because they get like, hold on. I'm only half kidding about this. Like, they do get bullied a little bit on the field. And you do see extended periods of time where the strategy to defend FC Cincinnati is, just foul the shit out of them. They're not going to do anything back to you. Like, there isn't that little healthy fear, that persistent infringement, that if the ref doesn't show a yellow, that the other guy's shown an elbow. Like, you got to have a little bit of that in you. And
I
that
don't
was
think you're
Mascara.
kidding.
That was Lucho. That was Miazga. And now we're down to nobody on the field with Miazga out that'll do that.
I don't think you're kidding either. Like I've described it as, does the team have killers?
Right.
And I think they don't as it stands. Although I do think,
I think Brenner's a bit of
I think
a killer.
I think Brenner is a bit of a killer. And I, think they have room for more. Like Miazga is definitely a killer.
But he's also
Robinson for all of his qualities, which are many, is not.
No. And I think there's a difference between there are killers and there are assholes. And sometimes there's like the Venn diagram, there's an overlap between those two things. But a killer is a dude that refuses to lose. Like I take personal umbrage to the idea that this team is going to lose, and I am going to do everything in my power, and I am going to make the other team pay for like even entertaining the thought they're going to come here and win. An asshole is a dude that's like, I'm going to make them regret that they walked into this building, and I'm here to personally annoy them, and personally, like when they get on the flight, they will not find a comfortable position on the seat in the flight home. You're going to earn every single, Grayson, you're about to love what happens here in about 30 to 40 seconds based on where things are going for you. But like the asshole is this person where it's like, you're going to hate seeing us on the schedule, or, you're going to have problems with what I'm doing to you. And so I think that we need a few more of those, not just killers.
I can get behind that.
You just absolutely hate to see this for Columbus right here.
You need to be tough to play.
Oh man, I love it. All right. Well, I don't know. We'll see what happens with Matt.
Is this what's about to happen?
Sure
oh my
is.
God. Oh my God. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Please tell me what happens.
NYCFC just did like a 2-on-7 break to score a goal at the death to beat Columbus.
They also, it's
it was soft.
It was soft, and they also
it was soft on Columbus's part for
they're
sure.
swagger jacking a little bit too, because they just scored a goal with like 20 seconds to play in stoppage time, and the guy that scored it just took his shirt off. Like that's stolen valor right there. That's what we do. That's some swagger jacking right there. Okay. I guess I was going to ask another question about who's going to play, but we'll wait till the preview to do that, I think.
Yeah, I think that's a good time to do that. Just a real quick glance at the table. Uh-oh. If Chicago and Orlando, especially if Orlando can win, Columbus is looking at a playing game. Uh-oh. Be a real shame if they didn't make the playoffs.
Be a real shame if we didn't play them. That's all I need is to not happen. I don't need to play them.
We'll see what happens. All right, let's head on over to part 2. Chief, we attempted to check things off of our bucket list. Let's see how we did, and then we'll wrap it all up with a preview of the LA Galaxy game. Before we go any further with the episode, I got a quick question for you. You ever heard of the U.S. women's national team? You ever heard of the U.S. men's national team? Well, then you're going to want to keep listening, because get this. We have an offer for you are not going to want to miss at the official U.S. Soccer Shop, which is where you're going to go for all of your U.S. men's and women's national team gear. The Post is going to be able to offer you 10% off any of the merchandise except for jerseys. Okay, let's not get carried away, except for kids. But there is a ton of cool stuff there. Okay, they're doing a new 1993 throwback collection. You got hoodies and beanies for the fall. It's getting chilly, and you're gonna want some of the winter gear, because there are matches coming up on 10/10 against Ecuador in Austin, or Australia in Commerce City. Believe me, you're going to want a beanie in Commerce City on 10-14 versus Australia. That is for the U.S. men's national team. The women, they play on 10-23 against Portugal in Chester, 10-26 against Portugal in East Hartford. Again, hoodie, beanie weather. And on 10-29, Halloween Eve against New Zealand, Kansas City, Missouri. Use promo code POST. That's all one word, all caps, for 10% off at checkout. This is a very real deal. I don't know how to emphasize that enough. This is a real deal you can use. You can go use the link in the description or use the code at checkout and we will hook you up. So a huge thank you to U.S. Soccer. And I think you're going to have a lot of fun shopping on the official U.S. Soccer shop. All right, we are back, and Chief, we were asked, I'm only speaking to you, Chief, because Grayson decided to flee the country when the challenge was announced. We were asked by the patrons, the lovely, beautiful, talented patrons over on Patreon who support the show, keep it afloat financially, spiritually, and emotionally. They challenged us. They gave us the bucket list. We accumulated or collectively developed a bucket list, which we put into a challenge format that was worth points. So, Chief, we decided how we will do this is we will do the math off camera and we will post our point totals in the Discord.
And we'll tweet it too, I think. Yeah.
And we'll tweet it. But as a part of that, in the Discord, you and I need to have a view off where we post our best view of Cincinnati we took during this. And whoever wins that will get the bonus 5 points there, as that was one of the items.
We should post it on. We should post it online and let people vote. Do a poll.
But I want to do it on the Discord so people have to join the Discord so we get them.
I like that. That's better.
So
Let's do that.
Them.
Love that. Okay, cool. I'm into that.
I don't know what we get with them because the Discord, to be clear, is free. You should join it. And if you do, you can vote on which one of us had the best view of the city. And feel free to suggest or, post your own in there. Let's see what beautiful views of the city we have. But Chief, to run through this, you had the brilliant idea of some of our highlights of what we got to experience with the bucket list challenge. Was there a moment or two or three or four that stuck out to you?
I was going to say we do our Mount Rushmore. We put our things. We put things on our Mount Rushmore of the Cincinnati Challenge, and I loved this. By the way, it gave me an excuse to go to some parts of town and do some things I haven't done in a long time, and I think next year or at some point we should run this again with new ideas when Grayson is not traveling abroad.
Yes.
So that he can also broaden his horizons with this. So I'm going to lead off with what I think was my favorite thing that I did.
Okay.
And that was, I have wanted to do this for a really long time. And that is to eat every meal at a Cincinnati different chili parlor, breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So
please tell me what you had to eat that day.
Okay. So we started off at Skyline for Skyline breakfast.
Okay.
Yeah. I felt like in order to truly do this challenge, you needed to start off with Cincinnati chili. So I was tempted to go to Price Hill Chili and get, a get-in cheese omelet. I think I've told it on the podcast before. My wife's grandparents used to take us to breakfast at U.S. Chili in Camp Washington. And I used to get a get-in cheese omelet there. It was the most delicious, a 10-egg omelet with 50,000 calories. And it was the best thing ever. So I'm incredibly partial to the get-in cheese omelet. But I thought it had to have some sort of a chili component. So the Skyline breakfast, everything they're using chili with that. So we started off with Skyline breakfast with a couple of breakfast Chilitos. Love that. Delightful. Tremendous. Comes with the chili ranch dressing for dipping. Very healthy way to start your day. We went and we did lunch over at Dixie Chili over in Newport. We
okay.
did a small 3-way and 2 cheese conies because, again, we're eating a lot of cheese conies this week. And then we finished the night off at Pleasant Ridge Chili, which is my favorite spot in terms of chili parlors. And for that, I did get the cheese coney, but I also went with the turkey roast beef double decker because I think that the double decker sandwich is truly, if Cincinnati has an underrated iconic food item, it is the double decker sandwich at the chili parlor. So
yes.
3 meals, 3 different chili parlors. I think I spent a grand total of like $30, $40 to $35 for the course of the day. And it was delightful. It was a delightful experience. I really do believe that is earning your Cincinnati merit badge. And I think everybody should give it a try. There are so many great chili parlors. And I was like debating which one I wanted to go to. I was at Camp Washington, Price Hill, Blue Ash, Empress. There's another one in Covington or in Newport down there that I'm blanking on the name of. That's right there by Dixie. But there are so many good spots around town that you can do this at. Have fun with it. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, that is great. Yeah, I had started down this challenge and abandoned it because I am a coward. But I did start off my day one morning with Camp Washington with the chili on a bowl of hash and egg, and it was great. So I highly recommend that. Chief, my number one out of all of this, this is so stupid, but I was genuinely blown away and was very happy with this. It is Binsky's meat raffle.
Okay, tell me more about this because I don't know if I mentioned it on the show. The wife and I, Mrs. Chief, we were at a bar where the bartender was like, when I mentioned that you were I showed her the picture of you at Binsky's.
Yes.
And she was like, what is that? And I was like, it's the Binsky's meat raffle. She's like, what the hell is the meat raffle? And the bartender turned around and be like, the meat raffle is awesome. Like, we immediately knew what we were talking about.
So it was a bizarre combination of demographics. I appreciated that. So one, it's in Camp Washington. So you're already just know going in, it's gonna lean hipster. Okay. Binsky's is a relatively new spot. And what they do is they have a sort of pet cause every week. So in my case, there was a group trying to put on a music festival. I forget where, somewhere in Ohio. And they were raising money to help put on this music festival. And so a local butcher shop donates the meat. They have various cuts of meat, and you pay $1 per ticket to put into this old school giant brass raffle bin, and they pick out one name every 20 minutes for 3 hours, or from 7 to 10. And you can buy your tickets directly from the raffle guys. You can buy it at the bar, so you can, put it on your tab or whatever. Super great. You have to be there to win. And if you do win, I did not know this. This is funny. You have 7 days to pick up the meat.
Okay, so like you're not like stuck like. There's not like, if I'm going to be here for another 2 hours, the meat is not sitting on the bar unrefrigerated as you're drinking. That was a primary concern of mine.
No, and to be clear, I never once saw actual meat. So
are you sure? Are you sure it leans hipster versus just like
carnivore
person from Cincinnati?
No. So
like like as somebody who like spent some time living on the East Coast and became acquainted with like the hipster there.
Sure.
Right. I came to realize that you could look at somebody and say like, that's either my cousin or Jamie Dimon's son.
Right. So
like in the East Coast, like hipster is like the child of a billionaire.
Yeah.
But here, somebody who looks like that could just be like
a guy
from Price Hill.
Right. So, okay. So that is going to make this more complicated. Because like I said, like I was there with a bunch of friends, late 30s, early 40s. And like, we weren't necessarily out of place. Like we were certainly not the oldest guys there. Tons of young people there for sure. It is very left, I will say. They're openly left politics, but
Okay.
also very openly Polish and Chicago. So they describe themselves as an old style bar, and they are quite literally the largest consumers of Malort in the state of Ohio, not in
Damn.
Cincinnati. And that
Okay.
includes
All right. Yeah.
Cleveland.
Do they want to sponsor the
Youngstown.
podcast?
I talked to the owner, and he wants Mark Zook to be at the bar at some point. I gotta talk to some folks at the club
Well,
about
can we
this.
interview Mark?
Is Mark Zook even old enough to shoot Malort? I have no idea.
Yeah, he is. He's 21. He's
Okay.
21.
It's 21. We're good.
Can we interview Mark Zook at this bar? Can we hook that up?
That would be awesome.
Text messages will be sent tomorrow morning.
Because yeah,
We start the interview off with a Malort in an old style, and it's like, all right,
so
let's talk.
because like when I was a kid, I had a rat tail. Okay,
nice.
and then I like
What, you
grew
became,
up and I
you
was.
became a Jedi Knight and cut it off? What?
I grew up and I like started reading like Kurt Vonnegut, and I was like, no, I'm more sophisticated than these people. And so I was like, I can't believe I used to have a rat tail. And then like I went off to the East Coast and I looked around and I was like, oh man, if I still have my rat tail, I'll be the coolest person
Right,
here.
right, right.
What would it take to get you to grow the rat tail back?
Columbus Crew missed the playoffs.
Retirement money.
You could tuck it under your shirt. You'll be fine.
No, this
Nobody
is what's
will
going to
see it.
happen. If we have to play Columbus in the playoffs, I'm going to make a bet with Grayson, and like the payoff is rat tail. Like that's, and all I'm going to need is FC Cincinnati to win to collect that. So
I like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
two
I'm in.
things. Two things about Bensky's. One, I made a rookie mistake. I legit showed up in my car. I didn't show up to the bar with this, but in my car, I had a cooler and I bought a bag of ice because I was like, I don't know how this works. I do not want to be caught with not the ability to take my meat home if I win this. And then two, like I'm not going to be a loser. Come on now. And two, the Malort shots. I assume you have the option of not doing this. I did not purchase the Malort shot. I did do a shot of Malort while I was there. It was served to me in an ashtray. Now, this was
used or clean?
well, the Malort's going to clean whatever was in there, but there's no debris, if that's
Okay.
what you're asking.
It
was
wasn't
just-
like an unfiltered, like natural Malort shot.
right.
Like someone just said, someone hadn't extinguished a Lucky like right before you did the shot, right?
But fun
Oh,
story.
the sediment is part of it.
Yeah, no, that's in every bottle. Man, I don't know.
I'm gonna call bullshit on this one, man. I don't think that's true.
But word is when they first opened up, they didn't like have enough shot glasses or any shot glasses, and all they had were ashtrays. So they were serving Malort shots out of ashtrays, and that has become the Binsky's tradition. So there you go. Good place. Would go again. Do intend on going back to the meat raffle at some point. So
With
Well
Mark
done.
Zook, apparently.
with Mark Zuck, of course. Chief,
I mean, this feels like it has to happen.
Yeah, no, this is way too good of an idea. Like this is serendipity right here.
it's kind of perfect. Chief, was there another item on your list that really stuck out to you? I know we wanted to do. We can go a little faster with the not top items. We've gone a little longer than I thought we would.
No, it's fine. The next one was, and this is what I was also excited about, was I am a just enormous coffee drinker. I am a coffee snob, and I decided to use this to get outside my comfort zone in terms of places that I usually get coffee from. So I got out there a little bit, trying to find some different places and some different spots in order to go and check stuff out. Like I was down in Kentucky. I went to, somebody suggested it on the Discord, and I went there. It was the not Carabello. What was it called? Carabello over in Newport.
In
Fantastic.
Newport,
Fantastic little spot.
Did you do the coffee like tasting table?
I did not do the coffee tasting table. I was in and out on it, but like I saw it and I made a note that I'm going to come back because I'm not a work from home person. If I have to work from home, I'm going to go to a coffee shop to do work. I just don't work well when I've got all my distractions around me. So I'm more of a throw the AirPods in and check a new place out. And so that was the other thing too, that this gave me an excuse to, was go find some new places to actually try to do some work at. So that was really, really good. I went to the Upside in Clifton. That was someplace I'd never been before. Enjoyed that tremendously. Sidewinder. We also got to Lookout Joe. I drove by that all the time. I'd never actually been there before, so that was kind of
nice.
That was kind of cool. Went to trying to think where else. Went to Mom and M's. Obviously, I'd been there before. I was trying to count places that I hadn't actually been to before with my spots. Where else did we go? I did not make it to the Madison place. Kevin, I saw you made it to the Madison place, and I was very upset about that. And I was going to ask you. That was the other reason why I wanted to bring this one up right here. What was the Madison place like?
Unbelievably nice.
Yeah, cults tend to be.
Yeah, no, I 10 out of 10 would recommend. It was a really great time. So I actually earlier in the day had gone to College Hill. And while I could not eat at Chongqing's because they were still closed and closed the entire duration of the challenge, I did go to a bookshop there. And the bookshop was very funny because it was in no order whatsoever. So I went over to one random area. I found a little book of poetry from a poet I have never heard of, bought it for $2. The guy said, "This was a really good choice. How did you know about this?" I said, "I literally just grabbed the smallest book I saw on the shelf, man." And I realized later, and I think Grayson will appreciate this, I became a performative male at the Madison place because I sat there with my cup of coffee reading a book of poetry published in the 1950s. And I don't know. Apparently that's a thing these days. So I apologize for being a performative male. So I did that. So that was fun. So yeah, it was really good coffee too.
I don't think you have to gender it. I see a lot of women at like coffee shops and bars, like sitting there reading a book. I think it's just like a person.
So was this your favorite new spot that you found? Because I went to Proud Hound for the first time. I've been wanting to go there for a while.
Yeah.
Dig the vibe. Food was really good too. So
I think of all of the places I had not been before that I really enjoyed was Fulton Yards, which is actually
I love Fulton Yards down in Riverside, right?
Yeah. Right next to Eli's and some of the spots over there. Yeah, that was great. I had a really, really good cup of coffee. I got a nice seasonal menu there. This is good stuff. Chief, how many? I know we'll do the math later, but how many coffee shops did you end up at?
I was trying to count. I have on my list, and am I counting places I've been before or only new spots? I'm fine
with you counting places you have been before, but you only get one like credit per visit. So if you like went to the same shop 10 times, it's still only one visit.
So I'm going, hold on here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 11.
How did I end up with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Oh, seriously?
Seriously? I'll have to double check it. I'll go back through my photos. It might have been 12. Okay, hang on. So I went to one in College Hill, and there was Goose Girl in Covington. I might have been to 12. I will double check. I have photos of every single place though. So.
Well, if it's this close, I'm going to count like Starbucks going through the drive-thru on my way to work to make sure that this stays tied. I wasn't going to do that, but if you force my hand on this.
No, I'm fine taking a tie here. This is good.
No, it was cool though. Like I've got like 3 or 4 new places that I really like going now.
Chief, I assume you would agree with me on this one. Visiting every hill.
I didn't make it. I made it to. I know. I didn't make it to Vine Street Hill. I did not make Vine Street Hill.
Oh, interesting. Vine Street Hill. I was one of my favorites.
Yeah, I didn't make it there. So I didn't make it there. And I didn't make it to Fairmount, but I made it to I made it to 5 of the 7. So I was close.
Let me see. Fairmount. Oh, Fairmount. Fairmount probably correct to not go to Fairmount.
Okay.
Yeah. So the park was brand new, and as far as I could tell, abandoned by all of the children there. Like,
yeah, well, you know,
never a good sign when the parents won't let kids play at a park. However, what is worth it there is that it is the site of a fairly famous Annie Oakley shooting contest, and there's a nice little plaque.
That's kind of
there.
cool.
So
I like that.
So that alone is worth it. I will say, on our sheet we have Patrick's Park in College Hill. I don't know where that is. I searched high and low. I
just considered like not
going
actually
there,
going to College Hill. Like I went
Yes.
to all the hills. Like I didn't specifically search out Patrick's Park. Like,
yeah. I went to all of the actual parks except for that one because I just could not find that actual park. I will also say, when we recorded the intro to this originally, I had every intention in taking the intro to improv workshop. I told you that I had already signed up for it. That was a lie. I had intended to sign up for it at the end of our recording. It had already sold out before I could sign
got
up.
the postcast bump without us even having to do anything.
Damn. So that was a bummer. Anything else jump out to you on the old bucket list?
I mean, we talked about it. We did trivia. That was
Trivia was fun.
trivia was fun. It was a disaster for us, but it was, not.
We went into halftime in first place.
Yeah,
So I'm taking the moral victory here.
Right. The other thing that I want to throw out there is that for the first time in a long time, I went and I picked up food at Choose Amera Asia.
Oh, yeah.
So good.
Ooh, did you build the perfect six pack?
I couldn't I went to Kroger once to do it and they didn't have the six pack build your thing. And like, I'm not going to go and actually, I'm not going to find another Kroger, but
that's fair. Thankfully, the Anderson Kroger did allow me to build a perfect six pack. I will post it. I have a theme for mine. It should be fairly obvious when I post it, but hopefully people enjoy it. I will say, just to get ahead of it, there was no street side in the build your own six pack, which I'm choosing to believe is a good thing because I have a strong conspiracy theory that all of the items in the build your own six pack are nearly out of date beers, which means slow sellers, which means no street side is a good thing because people are buying it up.
By the way, if you have never been to Choose the How Fun, ask it to be extra spicy. They don't mess around. They're like, how spicy? Like, I was like, not pretty spicy. And they're like, that was code for F me up, fam.
Also, I just want to say, ride Carol Ann's carousel. I had this circled because obviously I have small children that would enjoy this. It closes at 4:00. That's hard to do.
Is that the one at the banks?
Yes.
Yeah, I've been on that before.
What am I supposed to do at 4:00?
I'm not going to count it. But the other day I was where my garage is, where I park, is right by a streetcar stop, and where my building is exactly one stop away, but it's uphill. The streetcar was right there. I pulled the laziest move I have ever pulled. I got on the streetcar for one stop to avoid having to walk slightly uphill.
Public infrastructure, baby. That's what it's there for.
5 points for Gryffindor.
I did not in the 2 weeks ride the streetcar. I never made it downtown. I had this whole plan that I was going to go to Skeleton Route, ride the streetcar down, meet my wife with the kids at the carousel. It was going to be great. And
it closes at 4. Yeah.
Yeah. Never.
I think I posted this in the Discord. I was going to ride the streetcar again to get like an actual, say that I rode the streetcar. Yeah. Tried to ride it back from the FC game on Saturday and was waiting. Didn't show up. So I started walked the route. At no point did the streetcar pass me. So I was going to do the thing where, if I see it behind me, I'll hop on.
Right.
I made it all the way to the banks. Never saw the damn thing. We can do better as a city. We can do better.
Dedicated lane. It wouldn't be that hard. We would survive.
Or hear me out on this. Put it underground.
You could put it underground, but that's expensive.
Which would make it a subway.
But it already exists. Just get out of its way.
And just dig down. Sometimes, in order to go up, sometimes you have to go down.
The rule should be that the streetcar is allowed to hit your car. and you're just responsible for any and all damage.
They should put one of those Mad Max like bumpers on the front of it, and it just plows people out of the way.
The cow plow, yeah.
Yeah.
We'll bring back the traditional locomotive here. It won't be moving minivans out of the way, no problem.
Yeah, no, just get it out of the way, get it over, get it up, get it in.
But yeah, Chief, we'll move the conversation to Discord with this one. I think people will get a kick out of this. Yeah, I feel pretty good about my score, but we'll see how we end up.
And I have 3 things that like I wanted to do in like good conscience.
Yeah,
couldn't do because my wife would definitely want to do it. So like have a glass of wine at Skeleton Root. We're gonna have to wait for Mrs. Chief to have some time to do that.
Yeah.
Bluegrass Night at the Comet Burrito. Again, that's gonna be, MC dependent right there. And City View Tavern, that's not a go solo kind of spot. So
City View Tavern, took my son. We had a blast. We were like the only 2 people out there on the patio. It's a great time.
Love that.
Good spot. So yeah. So let's head on over to part 3. Let's wrap this up. We'll look ahead to the LA Galaxy, and we'll get you out of here. All right, we are back. FC Cincinnati goes on the road to play the resurgent LA Galaxy. It's going to be a late one. This is one of those 10:30 kickoffs you pray to God for not an early goal against, because then you feel really stupid for having stayed up. Going into it, I don't know what the betting lines say. I would assume FC Cincinnati is a heavy favorite, though. LA Galaxy has been struggling. FC Cincinnati has an incredible road record, especially West Coast and Western Conference opponents. Feel good about this one, but there's a couple of notable absences in training this weekend. Grayson, how do we feel going into Saturday?
I feel good. Like, honestly, like I feel good.
Okay.
I think that like maybe we have, or maybe I specifically have seemed like pretty negative in recent weeks. And, most of that was just my natural contrarian inclination responding to Kevin's terrible arguments.
It's true.
That's how I felt. Now I don't know who's telling the truth.
But like, look, this week, we've had Miazga out. We've had Lucas Engel out. We've had Roman out. I feel confident with Evan.
Yeah.
Lucas Engel out means we just have a natural left center back playing left center back, hopefully. And Miazga being out, like, fine. We have a DP center back still.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if there's any position on the field that is well suited to handle injuries, it has to be center back on this team. When you look at the personnel that they've signed and you look at the coaching staff they have, like, it's whoever's available, we can organize a defense.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, like there's going to be some people missing. I assume Miazga won't play. I assume Engel won't play. I assume Roman won't play.
Yeah.
And I think it's fine. We should expect a result.
Yeah.
Galaxy is last place in the West.
Galaxy's last place in the West. For their credit, they've only lost 1 in the last 6. And that loss came in the League's Cup.
I have been told that form doesn't matter.
Okay.
It's where you are over the entirety of the season.
I would agree.
Who you are. I
would agree with that.
So we should win this. We should win this game, and I think we're going to win this game.
Yes.
And let's talk about lineup. Here's mine.
Okay.
You guys tell me where I'm stupid.
Okay.
Starting in goal, the one, the only, Evan Lauro.
Walter. Oh, sorry. No.
Evan Lauro.
Yes.
At left wing back, we have Luca Orishano.
All right.
Left center back, Teenage Shadebi.
I like this so
Middle
far.
of the center backs, Nick Hagland.
Whoa.
Right center back, Miles Robinson.
Okay.
Right wing back, Dominic Marksuk.
I love it.
Defensive midfield, center midfield. Let's go Pavel Buka.
Okay.
And for me, this game, given it's on the road, West Coast, we already got players missing. Let's go ahead and rock and roll with it. Sammy Geedy.
Wow.
And then, Evander Brenner Denke. That's my team. Let's go.
That team should get a result.
And that team, I think, wins this game.
Yeah. I think that team gets a result. I could go either way on Hagland in the middle or Robinson, but I see absolutely the Nick argument. And also, I think we've seen that before when Miazga was unable to start and we had a similar personnel starting. Here's
my rationale for it.
Yeah.
Part of the explanation for like why Miles is a DP center back is it doesn't matter who plays wing back. We know Miles would cover for him. Let's put him on a side where he's covering for a wing back.
Makes sense.
I think Teenage and Miles are both pacier than Nick.
I think that's fair.
And so let's put our pacey guys on the outside where they're covering more territory because we put the wingback so much forward, and then let Nick kind of be the captain director of the back line.
Yeah.
Kevin, I'm laughing. You asked you said that FC Cincinnati would be you think they'd be the heavy favorites in this match?
A lot of things would point in that direction.
I think Galaxy are the favorites.
FC Cincinnati is a slight favorite. They're both plus on the money line. Galaxy plus 165. FC Cincinnati plus 145. It's actually pretty close.
Okay.
All right. So I'm using the Caesars Sportsbook.
Okay.
I want you to tell me where I'm going to list the top 4 by shortest odds to score a goal.
Okay. Anytime goal scorers.
Anytime goal scorer. And I just want you guys to tell me when you think that something is going on right here.
Okay.
The shortest odds for an anytime goal scorer. Who would you guess that is?
Evander.
Evander feels right.
It's Gabriel Peck.
Okay, sure.
Okay. Plus 125.
He's got 6 goals in MLS. I like it.
Number 2. Kevin Denke. Also plus 125.
Same odds as odd, but okay.
Number 3. Christian Ramirez. Plus 130.
Who I think is out injured.
Number 4 at plus 160. Kenji
Marco
Mobadem.
Kenji Mobadem. They're just looking to steal somebody's money who's not paying attention.
Number 5 at plus 160. Brenner.
Okay, sure. How long has Brenner been on this list? It's possible Brenner was on this list before he joined the team.
Evander feels like, at this point, Evander feels like free money.
Yeah.
Right. Number 6. Matthews.
Marco Royce.
No, Matthews Nascimento.
Yeah. We tried to sign him.
Yeah, plus 200.
Good.
Number 7. Plus
Marco
210.
Royce.
Kai Kamara.
Okay, not going to play probably.
Might not even travel.
I mean, he's still more likely to play than number 8 at plus 210.
Ricky Puig.
Gerardo Valenzuela. And then at plus 220, you have Evander.
Okay.
I would go all in at this point on what is Evander to score or assist.
I don't know if they have that here.
Oh, okay.
But if you were wondering, Pavel Buka,
Yeah.
he scores occasionally, right? Like occasionally he'll throw a banger in.
He pops up.
Plus 425 to score, which is right around where Luka Orishano is at plus 450. Still trailing Stefan Sharilla at plus 240, who is the next most behind Evander.
And who isn't allowed to play.
Yeah, I actually, child labor laws that late at night might actually prevent him from playing.
This is an unhinged betting line right here. Kenji Mobadem. If you feel a hankering to lose $50, I've got a bet for you right here.
He is not on the team. If people did not understand that is where the Samuel Guidi international spot came from. We loaned him back to FCC2, which I wasn't sure we could do, but sure.
So I guess we got to predict this, huh?
I think we do. It's late night. And now I'm not saying LA Galaxy is good. I am just saying they were on course for being one of the worst teams of all time through most of this year. Now they are just a regular version of bad to below average. We should still beat this team handily. They are just not the historically bad team that they were through the first 5 months of the season. I think this team, FC Cincinnati, wins 3-1. And I mean that.
By the way, FanDuel, anytime goal scorer, Kevin Denke is shortest odds at plus 130, then Brenner at plus 170, then Evander at plus 180, then Gabriel Peck at plus 185. So if you have the Caesars Sportsbook,
there's free money lying around.
Yeah, it's free money.
Hop on that shit. 1-800-GAMBLER. Please play responsibly.
They don't seem to have to score or assist, which is annoying.
Kevin,
I think the FC. I'm going with the FC to win this game 2-0.
I'm going to say the FC draws 1-1. Something about going out west. It's late night. I don't think, Galaxy are everyone said Galaxy's not as bad. The roster isn't as bad as the play indicated. This is going to be I just have a feeling this is going to be an annoying one.
For those of you paying attention to the table, San Diego goes on the road to play Atlanta United. That's a 4:30 p.m. game, which is a little weird. Maybe the West Coast teams going east, playing earlier than normal, is enough to throw them off, although Atlanta is terrible. And Philadelphia hosts the New England Revolution at 2:30 p.m. Philly should beat that one, although Philly is in a bit of a tailspin over the last couple of matches. So maybe they bounce back. Maybe New England gets a new manager bounce. We'll see how that shakes out. But that is your table watching matches to consider. I would assume all of the favorites win those. None of those look particularly tricky for anybody, but we've seen weirder. So there we go. That'll do it. Is there anything else we missed? Anything else we want to touch on? Anything at all?
They spit the bit tonight. Fuck Columbus.
The Cincy Postcast is a production of The Post Cincy. You can check us out online at thepostcincy.com. You can also follow us on Twitter and Blue Sky, Facebook, and Instagram. Twitter and Blue Sky, though, you'll find we're a little more active than the other places. We're also on YouTube, where you can listen to this episode if you aren't listening to it already. We are also putting up video content semi-regularly, including the Away Days series. We want to give a huge thank you to Jim Trace and the Makers for providing the music for this episode. They are a lovely band, and you can find more information out about them in the description of this episode. And if you happen to enjoy what you just heard, can I please ask that you like us, that you rate us on whatever app you're listening to. And maybe more importantly than all of that, share this episode with a friend. When it comes up at work, you're talking about FC Cincinnati. I say, hey, I listened to an FC Cincinnati podcast. I think you guys will like it. It would really, really help us out. Nothing helps a podcast travel more than a good recommendation from a friend, family member. That would be awesome. When it comes to the sorting algorithms that control our lives, a 5-star review would be much appreciated. Also, leaving a sort of written review weirdly does more than that. That's how the algorithms work. So maybe say a nice or a mean thing, whatever. Just as long as you give us 5 stars, that'll really, really, really help us out. And if you are looking for more MLS content, check out our other podcast, The World's Gam. Again, a link will be in the description of this episode. That is where we touch on league-wide storylines and news, and we talk about other games and a couple other teams in there as well. Think you will enjoy it if you are just dipping your toes into Major League Soccer. A huge thank you to all of our sponsors. A even bigger thank you to all of our patrons over at Patreon. But maybe most importantly, thank you for listening to this episode.